A report from Singapore's digital watchdog values the nation's digital economy in 2024 at $128.1 billion and puts it at the 18.6% of the country's GDP. That's up from 18% in 2023. And Nicolas Ng with more.
Buying food with a QR code, getting your shopping delivered right to your door, or using AI to help out at work. These are things we might take for granted, but the capabilities and convenience digital technology brings us is also money for business. How much? 128.1 billion Singapore dollars in 2024, or about 18.6% of Singapore's overall GDP. That's up from 18% in 2023 and 17.3% in 2022. That number comes not just from the information and communication sector itself, but also from other industries that are pouring money into digital tools, like computer hardware and software. It also includes what people and businesses spend on digital goods and services. IMDA's chief executive says it's really these other industries that are fueling much of the growth.
The vast majority, or more than two-thirds of it, is actually from the horizontal, meaning all the other industries, this can be supply chain, F&B, taking on board digital and having that drive their economy. So I think overall, we are pleasantly optimistic that the digital economy continues to be strong.
Overall, more businesses adopted digital technologies in areas like cybersecurity, cloud computing, e-payments, e-commerce, data analytics, and AI. Businesses also used a more diverse set of technologies, particularly small and medium enterprises, which on average employed digital tools in 2.3 of the 6 fields, an increase from the average of 2 in 2023. It's the largest jump in recent years. A big part of that surge came from AI. Among small and medium businesses, adoption shot up, tripling from just over 4% in 2023 to about 15% in 2024. That growth was mainly from smaller firms, picking up easy-to-use generative AI tools many of us know, like ChatGPT and Midjourney. Many AI-using firms are also exploring how to put the technology to work in deeper, more tailored ways, as I found out. For this Tentage company, adopting an AI chatbot to handle customer inquiries was just an experiment. But it worked well enough that it cut the admin work by almost a third. They aren't alone. Similar firms that applied for government grants to get AI-powered tools found that, on average, adoption came with considerable cost savings. Nicolas Ng is starting to take the next step.
My team, after we have done the first part of that generative AI portion, they approached me and say, do I consider actually moving inside to integrate our internal departments and so that we can allow this to improve the efficiency from the angle. And I thought it's a good thing to try.
Planning for large events isn't easy. It needs all of this: metal frames and canvas for tents and structures, chairs for guests, and fire extinguishers for safety. And knowing how many of these things you have on hand and when, a crucial part of the planning process, is a real challenge, which is why this company is turning to agentic AI to speed up data gathering across its many departments to improve planning processes so that they can make better decisions faster. But such integration to get AI technology to work seamlessly with a business's internal systems may not be an easy move.
That's when it starts to get more complicated and it starts to require a little more work, effort, and resource. Now, some companies are ready to take on that journey at the beginning part, and some are not quite ready.
For both SMEs and larger firms, part of that challenge is making sure their digital infrastructure is ready. For example, at Thomson Medical Group, they've been working for nearly 2.5 years to integrate tailor-made AI tools. Much of that time was spent making sure the right systems were in place before they could look at AI adoption.
There's so much foundational pieces that need to come together in order for us to do that data discovery. And that hard work of foundational building is to a company is sometimes trying to convince ourselves to build an airport when we haven't really understood the idea of airplanes, right? Or fully understand, how far we can go with such new technology.
Dr. Ng also notes that gathering the necessary talent for AI adoption can't be done overnight. You'll need the right people skilled at connecting their existing systems to AI tech. For example, integrating AI with their billing systems or their databases. Job roles related to AI were some of the fastest growing in 2024. Tech job growth has eased, but it's still edging up slower than the year before. And much of that growth is happening outside the information and communications sector.
We actually do see the overall pie growing. The pie is not going to stay static, but I think the shape of what is in the pie and how do we reskill to maximize the ability to do that will be the most critical.
Tech workers' pay raced ahead of other sectors, a sharp rebound after last year's slump. As Singapore's digital economy continues to outpace its GDP, AI is adopted more widely across businesses, and jobs continue to grow, albeit at a slower pace. What should Singapore invest in to keep the trajectory? Perhaps unsurprisingly, Mr. Liu says technology that's ahead of the curve.
And this will range from some of the foundational elements that are not sexy but are important. Everything ranging from your submarine cables to capacity for your data centers, making sure that the foundational soft infrastructure, as far as what we call digital utilities. And if we're able to master both the classical, of which AI is the next frontier, as well as the non-classical, of which quantum is the next frontier, I think we will set ourselves up very well for the next round.